Thank you for having us here in Hungary. I was wondering if we could talk a little bit about how Hungary and the United States can work together to develop stronger trading ties.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity, and I'm very happy to welcome you here. I had a lot of opportunity to meet business people in the States, but I'm also grateful to have a message through your media as well. We have quite intensive relation with US companies because in the last 20 years since Hungary moved into the free economy, a lot of things have happened. All the previously state-owned companies initially were up for privatization. US companies were very active in that field. GE started the line and ever since is the largest US investor in Hungary with around $1 billion US dollar investment. But many others followed as well. And also a lot of greenfield investments later when the acquisition targets, the privatization targets ran out. A lot of greenfield investors came, and actually they found here quite good opportunities to cover the European market. Because this is, as a member of the European Union, we are now really offering a lot of advantage to these US companies, the neighborhood of 500 million consumers, and good logistical opportunities as well. So now we have over 10 billion US dollar investments from several hundred US companies, and I'm quite sure many more will find good opportunities here in the future as well.
What are some of the other advantages that Hungary offers? Labor?
All right, yes. So we're part of the European Union, 500 million consumers, and all the consumption and economy and business and services behind it. So it's quite an attractive size. By consumption and by size, it's probably the largest market or equal to the US market anyway. We here in the Central Eastern part of Europe, the so-called new EU countries, European Union countries, we still have a long way to catch up to the more developed part of Europe, the Western European economies. Therefore, we do have a lot of good people, well-qualified people, but at a fraction of the Western European costs, which means in Germany probably the similar people would cost you 3-4 times than similar qualified Hungarian people.
What are some of the emerging industries you think that might be suitable for Hungary? I know that you already have automotive and you have quite a bit of manufacturing, biotech.
The 90s were dominated by the move of investors mainly from the production-related areas. I would say the blue-collar sector really moved into Central Eastern Europe, including Hungary as well. Even nowadays, there are some sort of declarations from Western Europe that production is moving to Central Eastern Europe anyway because of the good factors and the lower costs. So whatever is not moving as far as China is really finding a good ground in Central Eastern Europe. So definitely for production, this is a good environment. But as we are kind of gradually catching up to Western Europe, the gap will be closing. So we're not the cheap, in a big mass market, cheap labor available type of area like China or India or other markets, very cheap markets. They are also 3 times cheaper than Hungarians. So we're sort of somewhere in between the higher technology, more quality-oriented and more easy market approach type of sectors. The automotive sector is the largest from the investor's point of view, not only final car production, but of course the very complex supplier network, first tier suppliers, second tier or even third tier suppliers. They found pretty good business here. Last year our largest announcement was that Daimler Mercedes decided to make their next new investment in Hungary. It's an 800 million euro, it's around $1 billion US dollar investment for 2,500 people strong production unit in southeast of Budapest, 100 kilometers from Budapest. So these are big examples. But recently, in the last 4 or 5 years, what we see that the dominance of the servicing sector, the shared service sectors, the business support organizations are really exploring Central Eastern Europe. So what we now experience, we get more investors from the so-called white-collar globalization movement than from the previous production-oriented blue-collar globalization. And that also carries a lot of the kind of R&D type of and regional management type of units of the previous blue-collar production-oriented companies as well. So that's the current trend, and that's what we try to boost without stopping anybody, of course, coming in still in the production area, addressing their cost structure or competitiveness issues back in their home countries.
Could you give me an example of this new type of job that you're talking about?
Yeah, well, the sector is driven by US companies. It started about 4 or 5 years ago in Hungary, that the big international companies who decided to centralize their back office support staff into one geographical location. They decided to improve their efficiency on that and service from one location, in this case from Hungary, the whole European operations of their units. I would say, let's take ExxonMobil. Big company, a lot of things to administer in finance, accounting, IT support, HR services, data processing. You can do it in 30 different countries in Europe, but you can do that actually with the new telecommunication systems and the easy data transferring from one geographical location. And what you do in 30 different locations with 3,000 people, you can do it with 1,500 people from one location. And if it's a cost-efficient, good quality location, your benefits are even more than double than just doing the same job with half the number of people. So this is a very cost-efficient, very much profit-increasing move of the companies, and that keeps on going. I could go on with Morgan Stanley, who actually, even before the crisis, went up as 700 people, and they were in the move of doubling those people. I hope that after the crisis is over and they luckily survived, they will be doing their previous plans, and we will see them in the size of ExxonMobil. But I could continue with the GE service centers, with Guardians or Alcoa, the big corporations who actually need a lot of rationalization in their office costs as well.
Do you know, are you familiar with NCR Corporation?
Yeah, sure. They are here in Hungary as well.
But they're headquarters to Atlanta.
Yes. We have a long relation with them, and they have established here in Hungary a production unit, and they supply their clients all over in Europe from what they produce here in Hungary, and also some of the service activities they focused here, what was geographically possible. And as far as I know, they are very happy with the presence and the competitive advantages that they could find for expanding in all over in Europe, but mainly in the quickly growing part of Central Eastern Europe.